All right, folks, let's have a morning. Good morning, Rotary Club of Arcata Sunrise and friends. I'm awake this morning. If you missed it last week, Maggie did a fantastic job of covering my internal mental network error that prevented me from starting the meeting because I was asleep. So thank you, Maggie. I really appreciate that. And so we'll have a normal start this morning of sorts, such as they are. Do we have any visiting Rotarians this morning? Don't see any on the screen, but we do have a visiting Rotaractor, Laquita, who will happen to be giving our program this morning. Hi, Laquita. We'll be catching up with you a little later. And let's see, we do have, I believe, some guests of Rotarians. Terry, were you introducing on behalf of Brandy?
I am. I'd like to introduce Angela Robershot and Tracy Daly from State Farm. Did I get your last name correct, Tracy?
It's Tracy Day.
Sorry, I was close. I had too many letters in there.
You were very close.
Tracy Day and Angela Robershot, welcome. Thank you for being here this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you. Morning, both of you, and thanks for being here. All right, without further ado, we have a lot.
We do have another sort of visiting Rotarian, Sari.
Please. Oh yes, I'm sorry, Sari. I saw you come on. Sari is with Arcata High Interact, and of course gave a program a couple weeks back. And Sari, I've got to give you a shout out here because you helped organize a whole bunch of Interact members to help with our upcoming weekend fundraiser. So thank you very much, Sari. That was fantastic of you. We really appreciate it. All right. So save the dates. This weekend, we've got our October 16th and 17th prep and distribution work for our fundraiser. It's our first major fundraiser of the year. We did really well with the summer sale. This one is on track to do even better. Oktoberfest takeout drinks and dinners. And in a few moments, we're going to check the signups and make sure that we are 100% staffed for that. Now through December, we all saw Ed's sign-up genus come out for Backpacks for Kids. A few weeks before Ed, I believe you had sent out a seasonal list of who's to sign up when. So thanks for doing that. As always, please do watch for and respond to our sign-up geniuses. It helps keep organizers' sanity intact. We appreciate it. October 23rd, of course, we want your blood. We have the blood drive challenge coming up. Just as a word of encouragement, when you go to the Humboldt County Blood Bank's website, it doesn't take you straight to the date. You have to pick the 23rd. And of course, if you can't make it on the 23rd, pick any other date. It doesn't have to be that day, but if you can on that Saturday, please do. That will be pretty cool to see how our club does in comparison to the other clubs that have done this challenge. October 23rd, we have an opportunity for fellowship beyond the club. That's with our whole district. We have a virtual district conference celebrating the leadership here of Doug Johnson, who visited our club at our very first meeting. And I hope that because it's virtual, more of you will be comfortable with attending and seeing what that's all about. October 31st, we just got an announcement in last night, I believe. And Maggie, do you want to say a little bit about Ciencias para Todos and what they're up to with Jose?
Yeah, sure. So both Romy and I have been contacted by folks with this group. They're doing a event on the 31st from, I think it's from 2 to 5. And they're looking for two things. They're looking for some volunteers to help with the haunted house and some of the events they're put together. They're also asking if our club would like to help with little prizes for the costume contest that they're having. So t-shirts, goodie bags. They're looking at ages 4 to 20. So and it doesn't have to be a lot. So I'll talk more with Romy about how we might want to arrange this, but if anyone wants to throw some goodie bags or something, then let me know. We've got a week or so to figure this out, but and also we'll get more information about volunteering and what they need, and maybe get a volunteer sign-up genius out as soon as we have that nailed down. So they've got a lot going on. It looks like it's going to be a really fun event. So I'm looking forward to it, and I hope others are too.
Thank you, Maggie, and we'll all look forward to finding out how we can help with that. It sounds like a whole lot of fun, and if you all recall, the group Cientas para Todos did present to our club about a month ago, and it was very inspiring what they're doing in the community. So this is one of their fun activities, and I think it'd be great to support them in that. So thank you for getting that in the loop here.
Where is that going to happen, Maggie?
At the park over, what's the name of the park?
Carson
Park?
Yes. Carson Park in Valley West. And they're really trying to make that a community space. They're also working with other organizations that are sort of serving the Valley West community. But really, that's part of the decision to have it there, is really bringing the community to celebrate that space in Valley West and incorporate that as a well-used and appreciated community space.
Thank you very much. And then looking way ahead to November 7th, another opportunity for fellowship. Foundation celebration was going to be part of in-person district conference this year, but again, because of the state of affairs with COVID, they've split it out, put it online, and that gives, frankly, more opportunity for more people to attend and enjoy that. So please consider it. Any other announcements this morning that I missed? I know there were a few emails coming in last night. Michael, I see your hand up.
November 11th is our flag ceremony at the Plaza. So I'd like to encourage everybody to come out at 4:30 to lower the flags. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
And I have one last thing. The fellowship committee was looking at putting together a fellowship event online on the 31st. I would like to encourage instead that we focus on helping and working with the group on that day. And I know Steve McHaney will be happy to hear that. It's Chris will be happy to hear, because he and I were going to try to organize an online fellowship. But if fellowship committee is open to that, I'd really like to encourage us to work on the 31st at the Halloween Dia de las Muertas event instead. Jessica, is that okay with you? All righty, thank you.
Cool.
And now that I see Jessica here enjoying her breakfast, I hope it's tasty. Jessica and Charlie put together a little fellowship event. Was it last week, I think? Yeah. We did a group compassion meditation session, and I got to tell you, I've used that several times since at work, and it's really helped. So thank you for doing that. I know the attendance was low, but it was meaningful to those of us who did have a chance to attend. So thank you for that. Really appreciate what the fellowship committee is doing. Okay, this is a moment to thank our sponsors for their enormous help with our Oktoberfest fundraiser. We do part ticket sales and part sponsorships, and the sponsorships are making up a huge portion of what we can do here. So this is going to go out on the social media, and I believe to the paper and a few other outlets. So please do, if you see it, like it, share it. That it's important that all the effort we put into sharing the event to get ticket sales also goes to thank our sponsors. That's a big deal for them. So thank you for doing that when you see it. Let's get ready for Sunday. It's a big day. And give me a moment here. We are going to get to how many signups we have left. I believe we need 3 cooks on Saturday from 9 to 1. We need 1 more barbecue.
Ian, yes. Breaker 19 here. That 10 of 13 does not include people who have more than one sign up. Like Terry has 2, Mike has 4 people.
Okay, well, that's really good to know. Thank you. So we're good there. Thanks, Dick. Okay, in that case, do we need 1 more barbecue? It says 2 of 3 slots filled.
I have a question about the barbecue.
Yes.
I have a charcoal barbecue that I could bring, but my mom has a gas one. Is there a preference?
Marty, could I defer to you since Hyder's not on the call?
Yeah, I think we've done it both ways, so I'm not sure how Hyder's. Has anybody else volunteered? I just got back in town, so
Jeff and Lisa.
And are they bringing gas barbecues or charcoal barbecues? Because
Gas.
if it's easier if it's all gas.
We're bringing gas barbecues. A gas barbecue.
All right.
So it's either one. I think is fine. Just
yeah, whatever. We can make them both work. Whatever's easiest.
We have we have briquettes, so they won't need to bring briquettes.
Okay, Cam. Bring it on over, Angela. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. I'll put you in the sign up.
Thank you.
Angela barbecue. Okay. And then we need, John is going to be leading interactors with Ed. And it's really up to you two. Do you feel comfortable being the two in charge of 3 interactors at the cleanup for the kitchen? Or would you like one more to help?
I can make that work.
Okay. Anybody want to jump in and help over there?
I'll be there.
Thank you.
Be there.
I'll actually be there also, and I'm going to stay there until the end, until it's all clean.
Okay, great. We're covered there. And last but not least, we need technically 2 more, I believe, at the final distribution and cleanup over at the Griffin. And this one is a little extra important from my perspective. Vanessa has generously loaned her facilities for the distribution, and she's going to open for business right after this. So spick and span, everybody clean and out of there on time. Do we have a couple more people who'd like to join in on that? Everybody's muted. Well, tell you what, oh, go ahead, Michael. Yeah, I see your hand up.
The 4 of us are probably available most of the day, so just let us know what you want us to do and where, and we'll be there.
Come on over at 2:30 and let's see, or even 3, and see how it's going for cleanup over at the Griffin. Thank you very much. We are set. Thank you, everybody.
Hey, Ian.
Yes.
I was just going to say, if you're coming for cleanup, we're going to be doing the meal. I mean, they could probably come at 4, and that would be plenty of time. Okay.
That sounds great. That work for you, Michael? Okay, see you at 4. Thank you, everybody. It's, I got to give an enormous shout out to the entire committee who's put this together. I've seen the communications. They've done so much work behind the scenes. There's one more thing. I know Cam sent out a little list of things, just a little pickup he's going to do to deliver to the Griffin. And if somebody could meet him Saturday morning, what time, Cam?
Pretty much any time.
Okay. Contact Cam if you're able to go help pick up. He just needs somebody to take some of the things that need to go to the Griffin at 2 and can't be delivered immediately from our storage unit. So give Cam a call. Okay, on to our feature subjects and topics of what we're talking about today. Romi and the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee contacted me earlier this week and said they had something in mind. So in the direction of what Rotary International and our own club has decided to act on, because we believe that exemplifying, embracing diversity, equity, and inclusion should be part of everything we do at Rotary. I'd like to hand this over to Romi, and she's going to lead us in a land acknowledgement.
All right, thank you, Ian. So Monday was Indigenous Peoples Day, and it seemed an appropriate day to put our focus on where we are. I would like to begin by acknowledging that our Rotary Club of Arcata Sunrise sits on unceded land of the Wiyot peoples. That's the Wiyot tribe, the Bear River Rancheria, and the Blue Lake Rancheria, who remain in connection with this land through their culture, ceremonies, and stewardship today, just as they always have since time immemorial. Arcata is known as Gudini, which is over in the woods or among the redwoods. And then it's important to note too, because we live in a larger area than just Gudini. Our greater community sits on the land of Yurok, Chilua, Cholula, Hupa, Karuk, Matol, Nongato, Sinkion, Talawa, Wailaki, and Waikurt peoples. We'll change slide here. Now, it's an important thing when we acknowledge the land that we live on. We're acknowledging the whole history. Significant harm was done here, and acknowledging that doesn't repair what was destroyed. But when we acknowledge the land in this place, it should compel us. It should compel us to ask some questions. And so I write in my land acknowledgement, what can I do? And I hope that you will be asking the same question. For me, the answer is I can educate myself and help to educate others. I can honor those whose land and water we benefit from every day in our lives here, and honor the traditional ecological knowledge for preservation. You may hear this term more and more. I love how it's been incorporated into the sciences in our academic programs at Humboldt State University. This TEK is a term you'll hear, traditional ecological knowledge. And that honors the incredible knowledge that they have always used to preserve this land and the waters. We can also support and celebrate tribal families and communities and work to empower tribal youth. I know in last year, one thing I was so proud that our club did was we became one of the sponsors of Success in Both Worlds, which was an incredible Native American conference for students that's put on by Native American students and attracts students from all over the region. And another thing that we can do is pay the honor tax. And we'll switch slides here. So you would go to honortax.org, and I included just a picture here of that page. Paying the honor tax is recognizing and respecting the sovereignty of Native nations. It's also implementing the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. This tax is out of respect for the Native sovereignty. Rather than being a gift or a donation, this is respect and acknowledgement. And interestingly, this honor tax was not created by the Wiyot Nation. It was actually created by individuals and organizations and businesses rather than the Wiyot Nation. But of course, they have set up to receive that. And anytime that we pay the honor tax, it does go directly to the Wiyot Nation. So you can see on my little picture of the Honor Tax Project website that you just click on how to participate, and it will give you this honor tax form that I have filled out. Again, I try to do this quarterly, and then it gives you the address to send it to. And again, I hope that when we acknowledge this place where we are all so blessed to live, that we acknowledge whose land we sit on. And that compels us to use that information, to use that fact in our lives. Now I'm going to hand it back to Ian to continue a little bit about this honor tax.
Thank you so much, Romi. You know, there's been many years when my family has gathered in November for what we call the Thanksgiving holiday. And, you know, in giving thanks, we wondered to ourselves, what are we doing and where's this going? And for many years now, I've made a point of bringing out the checkbook at the dinner and discussing Native sovereignty and the honor tax and land back. And you know, some of our family is that's a very hard discussion for, which makes it a hard discussion for all of us. But it's an easy time to remember to participate in acknowledgement and appreciation, and so that's when I do that personally. But since Romi brought this up this morning, out of our presidential discretionary funds, I would like to, on behalf of Arcata Sunrise, make a first contribution and acknowledgement to the honor tax for the Wiyot tribe. And while I cannot commit the funds of future presidents, I do encourage future presidents to do the same, at least on an annual basis. So thank you, Romi, for the inspiration this morning. Thank you to our club for participating in this acknowledgement. And we're getting this out into the community that we borrow. Thank you very much. Full recognitions this morning. Maggie, I understand that Area 1 Agency on Aging is moving. And as you mentioned early this morning, all those trips up and down stairs with boxes probably had a purpose. So tell us a little bit about what's going on.
Yes, so we have owned for the last 13 years, owned half of a building. We were in partnership with a local businessman. And the way it was set up 13 years ago, it was never a 50-50 partnership. And we never were going to really benefit. And having, we received a huge endowment from another very generous local businessman when he passed away. And that money was all tied up in the building that we couldn't access. And anyway, so we finally found a buyer. United Indian Health Services is very interested in expanding their services on the southern part of, or southernish part of the county. And they bought our building, the building across the street, and the parking lot across the street. And they are going to start putting together a little complex here in Eureka that will serve folks from the southern side of the county. Even people in Eureka don't want to drive all the way to Arcata to get healthcare. They go to Open Door. So they're trying to bring their folks back into their services. So we're really excited. We have money now that we're going to keep in the bank and not spend on a building that we don't own, in perpetuity. And we downgraded. It's not as nice of a place. It's where the action is. There's a lot more people on the street and closer to downtown than we were. But frankly, we're supposed to be serving people who need help. And so we need to be, it doesn't bother me at all. But we've moved and we're still trying to figure it all out, but we're pretty happy about the change in ownership for us. So, yeah.
Well, congratulations, Maggie, and to the agency. And I think that's great that you're going to be closer to the people that need the services. So
yeah, I even gave them a garbage can last night as I left so they could put their trash in it instead of just leaving it in front of our building. So hopefully we'll see how that works. But it is what it is. People live on the street for all kinds of different reasons. And we need to treat them with respect as best we can and not assume the worst.
I agree. Thank you. And just real quick, I noticed that John put up the blood bank appointments link in the chat. So that's something you can do while you're following along with the meeting, or copy that for later. And that's really giving of yourself, literally. So thank you for participating there. Up next, we have another recognition. And I understand that you were running from something or for something recently. Tell us what you were doing over there in Boston.
I was running one of the world's fastest marathons, and you have to qualify to get there, and even qualifying doesn't guarantee you to get there. And I overqualified by 15 minutes to get there. And 3 weeks ago, I pulled my hamstring, and I was forced to run the marathon with a hamstring injury. And even with the injury, I was just inspired enough to still finish in the top 8%. And I'm still in lots of pain in my right leg, but I pulled it off and I brought the gold medal, and I actually have it with me.
Wow.
Straight from Boston.
Fantastic. Well done. I can barely walk when I get out of bed and feel like I pulled my hamstring. You ran a freaking marathon with a pulled hamstring, dude. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's what inspires us all to get out for a little longer walk today, right? Well done.
Thank you.
Thanks for representing Humboldt County out there. I know you had some probably some friends from Humboldt as well who were running as well over there. So pretty cool that we've got people here that can do it all and really represented at a national level. This is a big deal race. So Well done, Ken.
Thank you so much.
Nick, are we ready for a brand new raffle winner or pull? And remember, Nick put out a challenge last week. You know, since we're not in person doing the dollar on the table and we draw that odd ball, so to speak, please do save your change. I've got a little jar on my counter that gets the dollar bills and the quarters and stuff. So when we all get back together, we'll dump it out on the table and do some coin wrapping when we get back in person.
Yeah, thank you for reminding everybody about that, Ian. I was just looking at the vault here and I thought I should probably mention that again, especially since I was traveling and my internet cut out partway through the raffle. Here we go. So this time we will do $30 and see where we go from there. All right, Terry. So I'm still playing with this this whole thing. Apparently I can customize it. So now it shows people's names. Terry, I will pay you $5 on Venmo. And
thank you.
We will go for the next one. And AJ, who seems to be really lucky recently, since he won last time. Let's see what you get. $5. All right, at least you recouped half your investment. Thank you guys for participating in the raffle. We really appreciate those who do it every week. It's gonna really help out the club.
And Nick, actually, that's a good point. For our newer members and our guests, tell us a little bit about why we do this raffle. What's it for?
So
sorry to put you on the spot.
Yeah, the money we get from the raffle donations is used for our general fund for the things that we do in our club. We can allocate it wherever we need to for our club. That's why people tend to donate extra money when they're trying to do it here and there. And it seems like, you know, we only have a big payout really once a month usually, but sometimes it'll extend beyond a couple of months. But it's not really about that big payout. It's really about just donating a little bit of money to the club so that we can continue to do all the work that we do.
I believe, Nick, we've often seen the big jackpot winners put it back into something the club is doing or something in the community. So
sometimes they do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Or they'll give it to our youth exchange student or something like that, so that they can go on their different trips. Yep.
Yeah. Thanks for explaining that, Nick. Appreciate it. Okay, up next, we have a featured presentation from Laquita of Lost Coast Rotaract. And I had to pull this picture, Laquita. I noticed that there's a little guy over there on the right named Ken, who used to be in your club. How did you let Ken go? I don't understand. But Ken wanted to do the honors of introducing you formally for your presentation.
So let's welcome Laquita over from the best Rotaract Club in California.
Okay, Laquita, I have set it up so you can screen share if you wish. Laquita was born in Alaska, I believe, and was adopted and raised in Westwood, California. Is that correct? Very good. And is here to tell us today about what Lost Coast Rotaract has been up to and what they may be up to coming up in the future. Thanks for being here with us today.
Yes, thank you for having me. So I'm on Zoom a lot for school and with our club. But could you remind me how to share? I feel like I'm not seeing, or I can just trace.
Yeah, normally down in the center bottom under the controls where you would mute or stop your video, in the middle, there should be a green share screen button. And if you don't see it there, let me make you here, I'll make you a co-host. That should bring the controls right up for you.
Okay.
Thanks for your patience, everybody. It's, Zoom tends to update right when you don't expect it. So the controls aren't always where I think they are. Hooray.
Okay, can everyone see that?
Yes, that's great. Thank you, Laquita.
Okay. I thought I would start off with this funny little picture. So I believe our club hasn't had much contact with your club. So I figured I would start with last year when the pandemic hit. I feel like for several months we weren't meeting with each other. And then I think starting last summer, we started meeting on Zoom. And I believe last year I joined you guys actually for a fundraiser, the golf scramble. That was pretty cool. And fast forward to this year, we were still mainly on Zoom. And then this summer, we slowly started to meet in person safely with socials outside or meetings outside. And earlier this summer, we also helped the Eureka Rotary Club with their Best of the Worst fundraiser. So that was cool. It kind of felt like old times helping them with that.
Excuse me, Laquita, I apologize. If you mean to be advancing the slides, they're at the first slide on the screen. There we go.
Okay. And just a few weeks ago, our club volunteered with Friends of the Dunes at their center, the Humboldt Coastal Nature Center, and we picked up garbage. And that's kind of how we celebrated Coastal Cleanup Month. And then this was special. One of our club members, Aishu, she invited our club. So I apologize, I might be saying this wrong. Navaratri. It's a week-long celebration in India. So I think that was just really special that she invited us to that. And for things that are ahead that our club has planned, we're actually speaking with Clark at Eureka Rotary, and we want to get together. Our club wants to get together with her to we want to get together and work on a fundraiser. And she was even talking about an international project. So that's what we have to look forward to. And I think that's it. We haven't been up to too much. I just feel like all of us clubs, we're navigating Zoom and we're navigating, whether to meet in person. So, yep.
Understood. Thank you, Laquita. I know that Lost Coast Rotaract works a lot with the main Eureka Rotary Club, and I know Nancy Dean as a close friend, and I know that she's been very involved with your club for many years. What sorts of needs does Lost Coast Rotaract have from the other clubs of Rotary in the region, if any, for the ability to get more hands-on, or are you doing okay on membership? Or give us a little update on how the club is doing as a club. I know it's been tough for us to function as a club in Rotary, and I suspect you're meeting some of those same challenges.
Oh yes, definitely. Those are great questions. Yeah, sadly, this year our membership took a huge drop. So I think membership has been one of our problems as well, maintaining membership. And I guess for our needs, I know just one of my goals as president, I want to like work better on communicating with all of the clubs. So if you guys ever need volunteers for fundraisers or anything, like help on anything, like I know I definitely want to make sure I let, the club members we do have know about, opportunities to volunteer.
Thank you. And that goes two ways. If your club has something you want to do, please reach out to the clubs of the area. You're welcome to contact through Nancy or myself, or really anybody in Rotary can make those connections to help. If you've got 5 people available, but you need 40, let us know, and we'll be right there with you. Rotaract has long been very, very active in coming forward and helping out at Rotary events. But that has to go both ways. So please do reach out if additional help is needed for what you want to get done. And know that we're here to support you. Anybody have questions about Rotaract in particular? I know I saw Ken go out on a run there. I don't know. He just can't stop. But real quick, it's a little light on attendance this morning, but I know we have many members who got their start, some even in Interact, but many in Rotaract, in terms of getting involved with the world of Rotary. And, the people that have come into our club have been absolutely fantastic, active members that came out of Rotaract. Anybody who's been a Rotaractor have something to say about how that connection worked for you? I believe that it counts District Governor Dustin and Charlie and Nick.
Yeah, I guess I'll talk about it.
Thank you, Charlie.
Yeah. I was part of the founding club of Lost Coast Rotaract, and it was really cool when I joined it. We were just fledgling, I guess. We would meet in Adele's, in their little party room, and it was really neat just to have a group of people like-minded and wanting to do stuff with our time and keep ourselves busy. But then when I aged out, and it was like this weird, uncomfortable, like, well, I want to stay, but I'm like, technically I'm not supposed to. But I think that, I used the time in between the two clubs to kind of find out where I was going with my education and everything. And essentially, like, when the dust kind of settled and you're looking for more in life, I guess, just besides work and recreation, you're like, well, what else is there? And I don't know, I definitely started exploring clubs, and I found Sunrise Rotary to be the most energetic and the most active. I really like the age demographic as well, and the activities that we were engaging in. So I guess professionally and personally, the values of this club really aligned with me. And so I really like it. I really have enjoyed all the friends that I have made in this club. I don't know, it's pretty incredible. I would have never imagined joining it. I would have made as many friends as I have. It's great. It was a great transition.
Charlie, do you feel like it was because of your involvement in Rotaract that you looked to Rotary later?
I don't really think so. I think that I still had this really weird idea about Rotary. I knew that I wanted to, because I worked with kids and I really wanted to help kids in our community. I was like, well, what else can I do, and who can I reach out to, and what kind of I think that with that in mind, being like, okay, if I joined Rotary, maybe I can like steer the ship a little bit. And I really didn't think that my involvement would be as big as it was, actually, because I still had this concept that Rotary was like, you know, older, affluent people, that it was just kind of like this untouchable club. And I was like, maybe I won't even get in. I have no idea. But it's been an incredible transition, honestly. Yeah, I think that when I joined, there was still this kind of, maybe it was, you know, it was more of my own fear where, you know, you have to recognize maybe some of your own, not like stereotypes, I guess, where I was like, oh, like maybe it's just for like, you know, white affluent men. And I was really worried that I wouldn't get in for some reason. But I applied anyway. And I guess, you know, there's a quote that says, you know, like, don't be afraid to push on the doors that you're like, or something like that. Like, something weird like that. But I think I did have that fear because of the reputation, or the perceived reputation of Rotary. And so, yeah, the transition was different and unique for me, maybe. But I'm definitely glad I did. I'm glad, it definitely helped me recognize some of my own prejudices along the way of my own human development. And yeah, I'm really glad that I'm here.
We're really glad you joined too. Believe me.
Indeed. Thank you for sharing that, Charlie. That perspective is so important for us as Rotarians to hear. You know, we've got work to do. And I think as a club, we are doing it. But there's a larger organization that we're part of that in many circles would have the impression that is a elite white old men's club. And, you know, thank goodness I feel so grateful to be in a club that can help break that impression down. But we're only one club out of thousands and thousands in the world. So it's on us who get it to put that out into the larger Rotary community. And that's part of why I'm kind of gently pushing everybody and nudging everybody into Rotarian fellowships and into service beyond the club. So keep that in mind, keep that impression in mind when you're out in the community and talking about Rotary, how important it is to break down that stereotype. So thank you, Charlie, for sharing that. That's a great reflection. We have a little more time. Sophie, you know, had a very unique experience coming from Rotaract to Rotary, in that she bridged both clubs for quite a while. Sophie, do you have any commentary on that?
Yeah, I joined to Rotaract, but I was, you know, we were so involved with both clubs that I started going to all the meetings, and I was going every week, and like I think 2 years before I even joined. So I knew everyone. And I don't know, I liked being part of both clubs. I haven't really, well, I guess Sports Bay Rotaract hasn't really been active this year, unfortunately. But yeah, it was a good transition.
And I recall you being a member here, a member there, a president of Rotaract, and a treasurer for us. And I don't know how you found the time and became a CPA in the process. So, you know, it really is inspiring how some people have managed to literally do it all. And you know, you post your photos of fun out in the community too. So somehow you struck that magic Humboldt County balance of work-life volunteer.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it, so it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, enjoying it is important. Laquita, hearing some of those stories, do you have any other insights on what it means to you to be involved with Rotaract, even if it's stepping in at a time when membership is down and you know, the state of COVID has us mainly isolating? How is that for you personally as a Rotaractor, and what are you looking forward to in the years to come?
Yeah, thank you. That's a great question. Rotaract, what Rotaract means to me is, I guess, just having a sense of community. You know, in a way, it kind of lets you become more aware of, you know, problems that, you know, our local communities have, and, you know, like the needs of the community. And I guess even, friendship, getting together, sometimes even making new friends, especially if new members come in, which we have a couple new prospective members, so that's great. And I know for myself and many of the others, I know when we age out, we would all also like to join Rotary Clubs. So, we just, yeah, we love Rotary and we love, everything that you guys do. And it's just really inspiring, really.
Well, likewise, I know that from this room, Rotaract is inspiring to us. We see that Rotary is going to be okay in the future with all of you doing what you do in Rotaract and bringing that forward with fresh ideas and perspectives that help us evolve as a organization. So thank you for being who you are and being involved. Any other comments or questions? Romi, I see your hand up.
Yeah, I wanted to just go back and touch on what Charlie said, the perception of Rotary. And I just want to make clear, we all own that, right? And part of the move last year, creating diversity, equity, and inclusion as one of our committees. And one of the things, yes, it's educational minutes, DEI minutes during meetings, but it's also having all of our committees think about the diverse and inclusive ways we can be doing service in our communities, broadening our perspective. And ultimately what that does is it creates those partnerships. When we want to let people know, no, we're not that white privileged old people's club. We want to be a representation of our community, serving every corner of our community. And the way that people know that is by the partnerships that we build and the connections, so that when those invitations come to join us, to work together with us, those are invitations from friends, not strangers. And so we all need to speak about our pride in what we're doing. And I can't even tell you, I'm bursting with pride for what our club is doing. And we have to let that be known in the community. We have to redefine what people think of. Oh, I don't know that Rotary is for me. Tell them, yes, it is.
Thank you, Romi.
I think that also, I had to look up the quote that I was talking about, because I feel like, I don't think it's just unique to people of color or anything. I think it's all of us. But the quote is, how do you know if the door is closed if you haven't even pushed on it? And so I think that that's stepping outside of our own comfort zones and our preconceived notions of whatever club or our own abilities. I just like that quote that kind of pushes yourself to expand your own mental limitations.
Check the door. I think last year's theme was Rotary opens opportunities, and the pictorial was doors, of course. And so Maggie tested a lot of doors and found that a lot of them did open, and we're grateful for that paradigm shift in the direction of Rotary. So thank you, everybody. And Laquita, I wanted you to know that in recognition of you visiting and speaking with us today, our club will be making a donation to the Wheelchair Foundation in your name on behalf of Rotaract. That's an organization that provides wheelchairs for people that could not otherwise afford them in the greater world. So thank you for being here today and for inspiring these conversations. We appreciate it. Okay. At this point, I think I mentioned there's prizes, but there's prizes. And right now, those who have submitted pictures are winning the prizes. So if you want in on this, we need more people. I know that you all love to dress up. I've seen you at our big fundraisers back before COVID. Send me those pictures. It doesn't necessarily have to be a Halloween costume in that sense. If you've got something that you feel fantastic in, or feel freakish in, or scary in, whatever it is, send that photo in. You've got until tomorrow at midnight. And after that, we're going to see who wins it on Final Friday. So watch for that. There's some pretty tasty prizes coming. So I know you're going to want to be involved. Thank you for participating if you can. Again, could be any age. If you were 3 and that was your favorite costume ever, send it on in. And with our parting thoughts to this week's haiku is, wherever we stand, this beautiful place we live, Indigenous land. Thank you, everybody. We do have a little extra time available, so I'll hang on if anybody wants to hang out and chat, have a little social post-meeting. Have a great day, everybody.